So music allowed me to buy my gym. I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't, indulge in the arts. You have a mustache.
The mustache will sell some tickets.
Just twisted the whole time and just
You guys come to my show. Mario Cannon's going to dance in the background.
100%, especially for young men. Because a lot of times when you come in communities like that, it's hard to vent to people, right? Because they use it as a weakness against you. Like anything, if you confide in somebody and you tell them your fears or why you're sad, man, they're going to use that against you. If you could take that and just vent to these weights, I'm going to vent to this exercise. I'm going to vent in the gym. As a man, I'm going to go in here, and this is going to be my balance for pain right here. He hated me. When he first met me, he was a DJ. He just thought I was a young, wild, cocky mother humper. And I was. Man, I just loved Tupac. I used to always say Tupac was my father. At that particular time, I really didn't know who my father was. I noticed that every time I give the power to somebody else, they always seem to find a way to make me lose money. So I was like, man, I'm going to be independent, man. This is crazy. I can't keep doing this.
Hey guys, what's up? George from SouthPawBill. Super excited about today's guest. But before we get into that, big shout out to Rocky and all the Southpaw boys for making this happen. This podcast and the next couple of series that you guys are going to see was shot in Vegas, in LA, over a couple days where we spent some time together. Rocky, RDM from 83, follow him on Instagram, connected all of us, like-minded individuals, wanting to do good in the community, wanting to give back, wanting to put a positive message out there. And that's something that resonates with my brother Diego, Mike, SouthPawBill, and Southpaw Boys, always putting your right foot forward. Big shout out to him. You guys make sure to give him a follow. And I'm going to read, guys, because this guest is just phenomenal. He's an amazing guy, and I don't want to miss anything. He's an entrepreneur, first and foremost. He's a singer, a rapper. He has a band, Wasteland, some upcoming shows in April. The description is in the bio. A motivational speaker, an actor, winner of the 2020 Best Actor at the Chicago Film Festival. He is focused on giving back to the community. He has a big heart and spirit, purpose, passion, staying focused, and staying accountable. One of the biggest takeaways: confront weakness and build character with Alpha Ascending. He has a massive gratitude towards his coaches. Certainly into fitness, recommendation is work out, get that anger out, and put it into the weights. Our guest is Mario Cannon. Follow him on all social media platforms. He's an amazing guy. He welcomed us into his home. Super thankful for allowing us to hang out with you, to do that, to have a good time, good vibes. Let us know what part of Mario's story most resonates with you. Like, share, and subscribe, and come back for the next episode. We hope you enjoy. Let's go. Ooh, those are cute. Those boots. Ready to go? You nervous? About to have you naked like 30 minutes into this podcast. I like it. Especially with Wranglers. Oh, hell yeah.
I don't got a Wrangler today, but like this?
I don't know. Yeah, I need you to check it. Just come over here and check. Just make sure he's not muted.
I muted it. I pressed it and I unpressed it.
Look. I can't see the audio level.
It's bacon though when I'm talking.
Look. He's good? I'm good? Yeah. All right.
Scoobity, hoobity, poobity, foobity, shoobity. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Right in front of my man.
If there's something that you say that you don't feel comfortable with later, just let me know. We'll take it out. It's not a big deal. This isn't like gotcha content and shit like that.
I don't want to talk about my porn career, not like that.
I mean, that's the first thing I was going to ask you about your Feet Finder account, because obviously there's something going on with your feet right now with those crocodile boots. You know, you're what is it? Thunder from Down Under. Plus, you got some well, those aren't even zebra prints. What are those?
Versace.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ah, I have no idea, man. I mean, I just wear like regular jeans and
I
shit.
do wear regular jeans. Those aren't regular jeans, man. But I usually wear regular jeans. But I'll be honest with you.
Yes, sir.
My ass is getting too big, and I had my Wranglers are still, they're not that forgiving.
No, they're not.
And so I dropped something, and I tried to pick it up, and I felt them like really restricting my movements.
Interesting.
So I wanted to be comfortable when you guys came.
Well, yeah, that's why you're not wearing no drawers.
That's why I'm free balling. Free balling.
There you go. It's my favorite song. So for people from the podcast that don't know you, you're Mario Cannon. Is that your legal name? Is that your government name?
My
Or is
government.
that your artist name?
That is the name. My business name actually.
Okay.
My business name, my artist name. But yeah, that's what I use.
That's what you use?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So what do you do? What are I know, like, I'll tell you. So I was talking to Rocky earlier today and I said, look, man, I didn't really interact right today. Um, and sometimes I do that on purpose because if I'm going to shoot with someone, everything we talk about today, it's like, that's all the content that we would have talked about.
Yeah.
So I distance myself a little bit to be like, all right, like, I'm not going to have a conversation.
I thought you were just a hater.
Yeah, I know. I told him, I was like, dude, they probably think I'm a fucking asshole. So I know you do music.
Yeah, for sure.
You're an entrepreneur.
For sure.
You're into sports.
Motivational speaker.
Motivational speaking.
Yeah.
You're sexy as fuck.
Thank you.
That's like the whole working out stuff. I appreciate that. So, in short, who is Mario Cannon?
Mario Cannon is a powerful individual and soul that's looking to inspire others, whether it's through music, fitness, or just me speaking to them. Any way I can affect somebody's life and make their day better in any way, capacity to improve their trajectory in life. That's who I am. I'm here to make it better. In layman's terms, Mario Cannon is here to make it better.
I like it.
Yeah,
Even
for sure.
better than you found it.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And so earlier you did tell me you're from Illinois.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that where you grew up?
that's where I grew up. I grew up in Springfield, Illinois, actually.
Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah, for sure.
And you were saying that you couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, I love where I'm from, but the environment wasn't conducive to my growth mentally and physically, right? And so I grew up, for the most part, in a single parent household. My mom was awesome, but the environment she couldn't control, And so after sports, I kind of dove into the other side, and I really just wanted to get out. And a lot of times you'll find that being in those type of environments, you have to have a certain persona. It's like you're not allowed to laugh. You're not allowed to be goofy. You're not allowed to be, vulnerable, show emotion. So I had to put on this tough role and be this fake thug. But I couldn't wait to get out of there because
That's what you said. You said I was a fake thug.
there was nothing gangster about me, man. I was a hustler, pretty boy, get my money up, but I never wanted to hurt anybody, man. I just wanted to show a good time and, have a good time with other people and share the experience. But I couldn't be that there. I knew that I wouldn't be accepted being myself, So yeah, for sure. So I couldn't wait to get out, bro.
When did you leave? How old are you?
I left right after college. So I went to school like at a university locally, but after that year, I had all types of trouble, and after that, I left and I went to another school, like an hour away up north, on ISU, in Heartland, Trinity College, and that's where I started to grow and mature a little bit and learn, see different types of kids with successful parent households and stuff, two-parent households, different things like that I wasn't really too accustomed to growing up, in Springfield. So
It's I think it's the power of being able to see others succeed or a different life,
yeah,
right? So I worked in South Central for some time, and what this church lady, because I would volunteer at this church to help the community out, she would tell me that a lot of the kids don't get out of the neighborhood.
yeah,
Like they're just stuck. And so something interesting she said is they haven't seen the beach, right? They've never gone to the beach. They've never gone to the mountains. Beverly Hills from where I worked is, I don't know, maybe 10 miles at most. It's a completely different world.
absolutely.
And so if they don't have someone that can hopefully take them out of that environment, they become a product of their environment.
Absolutely.
Right? You're protecting the streets, you're protecting the corner. And so for you, it sounds like you were already wanting that escape. Like you already recognized that and you wanted that. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I knew in order for me to reach my full potential, because proximity is power, right? It's power in proximity. I had to leave the nest because I didn't see anybody that where I was from succeeding in the things I wanted to do anyway, right? Like I already accomplished everything that I said I wanted to do living in Springfield, and as shallow as this may sound, um, my goals when I was in the streets there was I wanted to get a cool car.
What kind of card you want?
I wanted the Dodge Charger, and I got it. I wanted 24s. I wanted rims on my car, and I wanted gold teeth. And I wanted I wanted all the girls to love and respect me, and I wanted to be revered and loved. And I found out that ain't no love in the streets, man.
Now, man, things change.
Yeah,
Things change. I think, and I've talked about this before. It's like different lives. It's like a lifetime ago. 5 years ago feels like a lifetime ago to me.
absolutely.
And so when you went to college, was it because of sports, or was it like you really wanted to get an education in business? Because I know you're an entrepreneur. So did you pursue that, or was it just let me try to get a higher education and figure it out as I go along?
No, I was playing basketball at first.
Okay.
At University of Illinois Springfield, but I found out pretty quickly I was average on a collegiate level. High school, I was smooth, but yeah.
Says it's something else, huh?
Yeah, and I was always rapping and doing music, so I just stayed with that. So I wanted to go to college because, I wanted to further my education. I wanted to grow, mentally, and I knew financially I would have a better chance of succeeding if I had more education or around more people. But college became my networking ground for me to meet my friends and grow. Actually, it was incredible. It was a great experience for sure.
And that was already out of town. You were already in your 20s.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so you leave house, you leave the nest, you go out there. Well, one thing I didn't ask you, do you have any siblings?
Or so on my dad's side, I got siblings that I had met later in life that I didn't grow up with them. I just grew up with my mom. But my siblings were my cousins, so like we all stayed in if we didn't stay together, we stayed next door to each other. So they all passed away.
You were telling me that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Oh man, they still with me, man. So for sure.
It's one of the times that you and I had a call, or I think we're all on the call, Robert, Rocky, Diego, Alpha, and you were talking about how kids are still killing themselves out in the streets.
Yeah.
Do you still see that in your neighborhood where you're at now, or how does it come to your attention that that's still happening?
Because I'm involved, I go and speak to children. I go back to where I'm from. I always try to give back. So I'm very much aware of what's going on, right? Not only just through social media, but just being involved directly with, people I know and love, my family and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm so connected to the community because I own a business that's still relatively close to the community. So I hear and see things and, it's getting worse, man. And I'm hoping that more men like us can be a positive example and shed light and give people hope, man, and give their shorties an outlet. They just need an outlet, man.
When you were younger, before you left to college, were you running the streets? Sounds like you were.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, I was a street dude. I was in the streets, but I'm not a street guy, so I've always had a big heart. I've always had a giving heart and spirit, and a winning personality. And I've always been not afraid to try different things. So, but I wasn't street, but I was in the streets for sure.
My brother would say, he'd say, hood adjacent. It's like, we're not from the hood, but we're hood adjacent.
Nah, I'm from there, man. I lived in the projects. I lived in multiple projects, and my mom, we lived in Memphis, Tennessee. We lived in some of the worst cities in America. We lived in I don't want to down the cities, but some of the most dangerous, neighborhoods that people talk about now. I lived there. I lived in Jackson, Mississippi. I lived in Memphis, Tennessee.
So did you move around a lot when you were?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I moved around a lot. I lived in Iowa. I went to a lot of different schools.
How many schools did you go to, like high schools?
I only went to one high school.
Okay.
I went to a lot of grade schools though.
It's giveaway time. Free tees and hoodies. Wait, it's giveaway time. Free t-shirts and hoodies. Subscribe, screenshot that, and share on your IG post or story. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Screenshot the subscription and share it on your IG post or story, and tag SouthPawBill. For existing subscribers, comment on your favorite episode, screenshot, and share on your IG story or post, and tag SouthPawBill. If you want a hoodie, share this post and tag Share this post and tag 3 friends. Comment on your favorite episode, screenshot, and share on your IG post or story. For additional entries, do this. Comment on another episode, share, and screenshot that on your IG story or post. Tag all Southpaw boys on your post or story. All Southpaw boy handles will be down in the description. Oh yeah, now let's get back to the pod.
Yeah.
I think my brothers had a little bit more time in each school than myself, but we still moved around a lot. I think that's a positive because it makes you to be not afraid to make new friends. You have to make new friends at every single school, right?
I think it diversifies your understanding of different cultures and gives you, a wider taste palette of how to deal with different individuals. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like I have an advantage because of that situation, honestly, for sure.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I like about where we grew up. It's sometimes I feel like people go to a predominantly black school, predominantly Hispanic school, and that's all they know. Same thing with, your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But when you get picked up out of there and you get dropped into an all white school, all Asian school, it's like, oh shit, things are a little different.
Yeah.
Right. It makes you adapt. And so when you were growing up, before you went to college, you were already doing music.
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah, for sure.
Like I heard you talk about Stevie B earlier. You're the Diamond Boy.
Yeah.
So your mom, friends, how does music come into the picture for you?
Man, I just love Tupac. As a kid, I used to always say Tupac was my father because at that particular time, I really didn't know who my father was, right? So I just looked at him as a father figure. And so I kind of just emulated him for a while because I wanted to rap because Tupac was a rapper.
Yeah.
Right. And I was young too. I started rapping really young. I was making cassette tapes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had my own Radio Shack set up. Like I built a Radio Shack set up. I had cables running everywhere. I still have my tapes.
Do you?
To this day. Yeah.
You gotta put them online.
I should, but my voice is so young and I for a minute I
sound like Barry White now.
Yeah, I know, man.
Barry Light.
Very light, yo.
Very light.
Yeah, I wouldn't even cuss. Like it was so whenever a cuss word or I have some profanity, I would just mute myself.
Oh.
I'm like, you gonna come around with?
Was your mom she didn't let you cuss or said that so she smack you or?
No, man. I was just a respectful kid. I was a good kid, man.
Yeah,
I was a good kid, but so I tried to not,
Yeah,
I didn't cuss in my first. I had all my cousins rap with me, and they were so young, so they didn't. They might as well gonna let them cuss. My aunties would not let them cuss.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure that we didn't curse in our lyrics. So we made.
What were you rapping about?
We get up a lot of fake words, man. I ain't gonna lie, dude. My cousin Reggie, we call him Lil Muggsy. He used to always say, "I'm gonna party hardy." Like we just make up words, man. And as long as it party hardy, bro. If it rhymed, it didn't matter. I would make songs that were like 10 minutes long because I had the rap keyboard and it would just be on a forever loop. And then you press one button to start the chorus and then the beat would change for the chorus. So I didn't have a concept of how long a song should be.
When did you actually get signed with the label? How did that come about? In college? After?
No, I was after school, man. I had a few label deals, honestly, man. I had some independent label deals. I've had some kind of semi-major independent with some major distribution, but I would say the label stuff came later in life, way later, man. not until I got to like my 30s, you know, and I started dealing with labels. But even earlier and before then, I had some small management deals and things like that. But you know,
But was it something you were trying to pursue? Or it was something that you enjoy doing and just so happened that
that was something I was pursuing. But I realized that I wanted to be more in control of my career. So I noticed that every time I give the power to somebody else, they always seem to find a way to make me lose money. So I was like, man, I'm gonna be independent, man. This is crazy. I can't keep doing this. Like, so I prefer more independently to produce my art. So
you were producing the music, the beats, the sounds, and
no, I have producers, man. I used to make beats, but
Okay.
once I got to a certain level where I was like making a gazillion songs a day,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need some producers, man. And so I got a band called Wasteland.
Okay.
And I also work with producers as well because I still go back and forth between rock and rap.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I was showing my other brother Mike your video the
Yeah.
other day. He's like, "Oh, I fuck with it." It was I mean, it's one with a guitar. There was like a guitar in it.
Was it a rap song?
No,
Or was it a rock song?
it was a rock song.
It was probably Thug.
Thug.
THUG, we be thugging.
I don't know.
Rolling, smoking.
That's pretty dope though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that. I said I want to make a song. I say I want to do a movie. It's just a creative outlet.
Yeah, I've done a lot of movies actually. I forgot I do acting.
Okay.
I'm an actor, yeah.
Not just a feet finder.
No, man. I did the show Empire on Fox.
Okay.
I played a younger version of Terrence Howard on that show.
Oh shit, you do look like Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Howard. Yeah, me and him. You know, a stock video online. Terrence Howard. We gotta have a talk, bro. We gotta figure this out. But
Yeah, you do look like him.
no, it was cool. It was an amazing experience. Amazing experience. In 2020, I won Best Actor at the film festival in Chicago as well.
So I like getting to know these things when I talk to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because sometimes we were just showing you earlier, and shout out to Zach, nicest guy, sweet guy, smart guy. He's a drummer and he plays. A memory came up when he was on the podcast, and I asked him what's like one of the most memorable people or bands that you play with, and he name dropped Stevie Wonder and Metallica. And
that's crazy.
And he's just the nicest dude. Like you wouldn't know. Like I mean, he looks super famous. You look super famous, you know. But at the end of the day, there's just some really nice people that have had maybe a career path like yourself.
Yeah. Just be nice.
Is that your mantra?
Just be nice.
Were you nice when you were young?
I was nice.
Always nice.
I was always nice. I was
So you're not like
always nice. Never mind. Look, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I had some asshole periods, bro. Right. But I really wanted to be nice.
Okay.
I didn't want to be an asshole, or that was just a fake cloak to hide my insecurities at the particular time.
Yeah, I think I had the same.
Yeah, I didn't really particularly love myself like I portrayed. I just tried to act tough to mask the.
Was there like a turning point where you said like, no, I want to be nice?
I think
I want to not be that character, and I want to be more of me.
After losing people you love, back to back like that, man, it really does something to your soul, right? When you lose somebody you love, and also, life isn't that great, right? And you spend a lot of time alone. You start looking in the mirror. You start to understand, like, man, I need to change. I got to change my heart. I had a mentor at the time, and he said, Mario, man, you're having difficulties in your life because you need to change your heart. And I got mad. I was like, man, what the hell does that mean, dog? What are you talking about? Change your heart. He's speaking in metaphors and riddles. Change my heart. And I had to really realize I had to change my purpose and passion, my focus, and start, being more accountable, and have some start looking within, right? Some
self-reflection.
Yeah, man, self-reflection, man, all day, and that's when things change. And I started listening to Lil B the Bass Guy a lot.
What is that?
I started listening to Lil B the Bass Guy.
What is that?
It's a rapper, dude. And he was super positive all the time. Everybody said he was terrible, and I thought he was amazing. And And he's responsible for a lot of things in rap today. He's from the Bay Area.
Okay.
And he was always preaching the positive. And I was like, I like this dude. And he has a message. I was like, I can be positive. He can do it, I can do it.
Right. There you go.
And that's where it came from. And he had been in trouble like me and stuff, and he had gold teeth, but he was so positive and nice to everybody. But he looks like sometimes he looked like a goon. He had tattoos and shit, but he's just a nice guy. Yeah.
We look like goons.
Yeah.
We're very nice guys.
Yeah, just nice guys.
That mentor, did you seek them or they sought you?
It kind of just happened mutually, man. Yeah. So one of my mentors, he is a DJ. He was a DJ, but now he's like a sheriff. It's crazy. But he used to be a DJ.
That same guy?
Yeah, he hated me. Yeah, like he thought I was, arrogant, young, wild. Couldn't stand me at first, and then we ended up becoming like really close when I got older. We talked. He loves me, like we're like close.
Right.
But when he first met me, he was a DJ. He just thought I was a young, wild, cocky, mother humper, and I was.
You know what, man? So like I can equate it to sports, right? So, in regards to sports, sometimes when a player says I'm the best, right? Like LeBron gets a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Because he always says he's the best.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, Jordan's the best or Kobe's the best or, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to believe you're the best.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, that comes off as cocky, arrogant.
No, disrespectful.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can get there too.
I was terrible.
Okay, so you changed.
Yeah, I told him that, I said some things. So I remember being on the phone with him. It was on a 3-way call. I had a rap group at the time. And he was like, you need to change, he was like, man, and you need to show me your fans. You need to change how you talk to people. I was like, man, shut up. You old. I don't give a what you talking about, man.
Yeah.
Change what? I'm finna change my shoes. I'm finna change my ice. I'm at the top. I'm Canon. You better understand who you talk. I was like talking crazy. And this is a grown man I'm talking to on the phone, right? So disrespectful, man. And that's how I was just a wild mother humper.
Yeah. I think I've carried a lot of that myself too, especially when I was younger. And I don't think it serves. I think it's a good thing because it allowed me to accomplish a lot.
Yeah.
Right. But in high school, I remember I had a moment, maybe around junior year. I'm like, you know what? I'd be nicer to people. I stop like having my brothers throw people in trash cans. Just being nice to everybody in general. And that was when I think I expanded my network in high school. I just started making a lot more friends. Being nice to people.
I sucked in high school.
You sucked in high school.
I was a jock basketball player.
You didn't play football? Just basketball?
Just basketball, man. I wasn't big at all. I was always super skinny. I was never swole.
What'd you get swole?
What'd you get swole?
When'd you get swole?
In my 20s, later in my 20s, yeah. Because, what happened to me was I was in college and I was around the fraternity group, Alpha Phi Alphas.
Take off my jacket.
And we did a physique show, man.
A physique show?
Yeah. And I wasn't with the fraternity because of certain reasons I couldn't cross naturally, but I was roommates with one of the frat bros, and they kind of took me under their wing. So they invited me to do the physique show with them. Keep in mind, all these guys are like stud athletes, bro. Like they walk out on stage, girls going crazy. Oh my God, look at you, So
I want that attention.
Yeah, my buddy went before me. He's swole, good looking dude. Girls was clapping, like they had to bid on you for a date or something. Just
like a charity event.
I think it was some charity type of thing. Something like I remember it was a physique show. So I had my gold pants on. I was oiled up to the max, man. I probably did at least 13 push-ups in the back, getting ready, man, and
get a little pump.
And walked out on stage, man. Man, you can hear somebody talking in Canada, bro. You can hear the grass growing, bro.
Right bad.
You can hear mosquito mixtapes. You can hear the songs that ain't came out yet.
That bad.
Nobody said nothing.
Nobody bit on your ass.
I don't even think the chick I was seeing at the time said anything.
And it was for charity.
I think she tried to clap or she tried to, but she was like looking around like, oh, I'm the only one. I can't
support him.
I
don't know him.
I can't go out like this.
I don't know who that Canon is.
Well,
and
I walked across the stage and everything. I did the T.
Hey guys, we hope you're enjoying this episode. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know which part of the previous segment most resonates with you. In order for us to bring you more valued guests and content, please support our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Alpha Ascending, the elite transformation program by Mario Canon. Alpha Ascending isn't just about fitness, it's about becoming the strongest version of yourself inside and out. In just 12 weeks, you'll build real muscle, boost your confidence, take control of your mindset, and learn how to lead with purpose. Whether you're a busy professional, an entrepreneur, or someone ready to level up every part of your life, Mario will guide you through workouts, nutrition, high performance habits that actually stick. Ready to stop coasting and start conquering? Visit MarioCannonCoaching.com and join the Alpha Ascending movement today. Now let's get back to the show.
Hey, if y'all watching this, listen, y'all know I did the T. Y'all seen all the baby oil on me. You understand I walked back and forth. You could have gave me a couple claps.
Little golf claps.
Something. Now, with the people who didn't clap for me, I'm in better shape than I am right now.
How much did you weigh at the time?
But why you got to
$150? Like $150?
Not even close.
What? And you're tall?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
Like 6'1".
Okay. Yeah.
I weigh 125.
Holy shit.
Maybe 123.
Wow.
All I did was eat gummy worms and drink alcohol. I didn't even eat real food in college, man. Come on.
So then after that, after your heart was broken, nobody bid on you at the charity event. That's when you started working out?
No, after that, I kind of like dropped out of school, you know.
Moved to another town, start over?
Bro, low key, yeah. I dropped out of school a little bit after that. And I moved and started over a little bit. Had to refocus, regain myself, man. Yeah. And then I started over. I didn't get swole to maybe like 5 years after that.
I mean, so now it seems like you're working out all the time.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Because I own a gym, so yeah.
So when did it become like a daily part of your life?
All right, so
like a lifestyle.
Yeah, I moved to this town, Lincoln, Illinois, man, and I was by myself a lot. I struggled a lot with this move, and I was working a job. I wasn't in the streets no more. And
this is in your 30s?
No, late 20s.
Late 20s.
So I realized like people didn't want to hang out with me as much because I didn't have the money. I didn't have, I was kind of like in this 1-bedroom like efficiency apartment. Just going to work at AT&T. Couldn't really afford the phone bill, but whatever.
Selling phones but can't pay for the phone?
That's crazy. That's some nasty work right there. Yeah, but that's accurate. So one time my electric got cut off, right? And I had to wait to get a voucher because you can usually get a voucher the next day to get some help when you get your power cut back on. So I just went to the gym. They got hot water and you get a free shower.
Yeah.
Free shower. Hot water. Right. So I'm in the gym. I working out. I was like, this is cool. I feel good, And after that, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna keep doing this. My arms started getting some size. So I had some dumbbells at the house. So I just used the dumbbells and I started going to the gym, man. And I like how it made me feel. But customers start treating me different.
Oh, when you the ones you're selling the cell phones to? Yeah,
I started getting more respect. Like seriously, I had it was an older lady. She was like, I was selling her, I don't know what I was selling her, whatever, some overpriced phone. And then she was, I was showing her how to use the phone, and she was looking at my forearm. She was like, well, those are pretty nice forearms you got there. Those aren't regular from a regular. You work out, don't you? I was like, yeah, I have a training regimen. Yeah, I work out. Yeah. And so I was like, wow. And so then my district manager would come down from AT&T and yell at everybody. Well, not yell at everybody, but like,
sure.
Just tell
get them in line.
Tell everybody what they need to, what they're doing incorrectly, whatever. but he would talk to me about the gym.
Hmm.
That's it. I was like, wait a minute. So, you don't care about the 32 times I was late? You don't even care. You don't care that you don't care?
Guys, I don't
He's trying
care.
to
Well, you
promote
look
me.
good.
This dude's trying to promote me.
Yeah.
He asked me about my workout splits. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, so people respect people who work out.
Yeah.
And I just felt confident, man. I got more compliments on my body. It became addicting.
So would you say that, well, I mean, maybe it sounds cliche, but for those kids that are struggling, maybe in certain communities, that the gym is a good outlet?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's for anybody, especially for young men, because a lot of times, when you come in communities like that, it's hard to vent to people, right? Because they use that as a weakness against you. Like anything, if you confide in somebody and you tell them your fears or why you're sad, man, they're gonna use that against you. So
Sorry, a new one.
So then, if you could take that and just vent to these weights, I'm gonna vent to this exercise. I'm gonna vent in the gym. As a man, I'm gonna go in here, and this is gonna be my ballad for pain right here.
It's when you hit a certain age. I was watching Jordan Peterson, and I watch a lot of his psychology stuff
For sure.
and so he's talking about growing up, boys and girls are pretty similar
Yeah.
in personalities, and there's not too much that differs. But once you hit puberty and testosterone kicks in for boys, and a lot of times when you're running the streets, it's at your peak testosterone moments.
Yeah, man.
So getting that testosterone out through the weights, I think it's a good tool. It's why kids should be doing sports or extracurricular activities to get a lot of that shit out. Otherwise, you're taking it out in a bad way.
Yeah.
Maybe against someone. And
Absolutely.
so you would say gym could potentially help them. What else could help someone that's maybe in that type of situation? And the way that I want to ask this question is because so the kids are struggling. Maybe they don't know an outlet. So maybe they get to watch this and maybe they say, okay, well, maybe I go to the gym. What other tools can they use? But in addition to that, what could potential friends of that person that maybe seeing someone going down a wrong path, what could they encourage them to do, or how can they speak to them to help them get out of that? So it's maybe like a two-part question, I guess.
Honestly, man, it's multiple ways to have an outlet, right? Whether it's to the fitness, sports, the arts, being involved in trades, reaching out to people who you admire, who you want to be like, because everybody's got a phone now. So, we choose to use our phones to view things that may be stimulating us in the wrong way, right? So we're feeding the beast, but we need to feed our brain with some more positive energy, right? So, like, use your phone to create, build. Use your phone to find a book. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of books.
A lot of books. That's true, man. Like, honestly, it's just being creative in your growth. And so I would say that an outlet for that, definitely, other than fitness, would be sports, the arts, reaching out to guys like yourself, reaching out for mentorship. Man, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know how many kids I talk to? I talk to a lot of kids, man.
What's the age group on average?
Middle school
Okay.
to 60
All over.
plus. Yes. We all need someone, man. We all need somebody to exchange energies with, because we're not always, motivation is temporary, man. Like, you can be motivated one day and the next day, I'm tired. I ain't trying to do none of this. But when you have discipline beats motivation anytime.
Right.
So you just need an accountability space where you can release, because we're all human. you know. So even this right now, this exchange is amazing, right? This is an incredible exchange because it gives me a better understanding of you and me and how we gonna vibe.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I told I told Rocky earlier the same thing. I said, "Hey, I hope he doesn't think I'm a dick because I wasn't engaging that much earlier." He's like, "No." And I said, "I think Mario's what I thought Mario would be, and I think Robert's what I thought Robert would be."
Absolutely.
And he said, "Well, what'd you think Robert was?" I'm like, "Articulate and quiet." He's like, "Well, what'd you think Mario was?" I'm like, "Smart and funny." But it's just they're good guys, man. They're good guys, and so I said, I'm gonna have fun, chopping it up with them, and then after we have that, then obviously then we go back to normal. But it's I think what our podcast is, and the conversations we get to have, everybody's going through it.
Yep.
We're all going through life. We're all going through something. Maybe not at this moment. We went through it before, maybe sometime in the future. But when someone says, like, I can't get there because of my reality is different. I think your reality of what you're sharing, where, you moved around a lot. You lost some family members. You grew up with your mom, single mother. So there's certain things where someone could say, well, like, it could have just gone way left this way. But there was some mentorship, some people maybe that you met along the way.
Sports helped me too, man.
The team environment, coaches.
My coaches, man.
Yeah.
I had a strong mother, man. My mom, Sharon. Shout out to Sharon,
Hi, Sharon.
Yeah, I love you, Mom. Strong mother, man. Powerful mother. But I needed that male leadership. And my coaches provided that for me, right? I went to my coach's house, cut his grass. I learned a lot of life lessons,
Were all those things like voluntary that came from you to be able to want to do those things, or someone like your coach said, hey, like, I want you to come and I want you to do this?
He would invite us. He wanted us to do some team bonding and help us build, because a lot of the kids in the neighborhood I'm from, we didn't have balanced households. Well, like at the time, my mom was married to a guy, but you know how that go. Right?
Yeah.
It was whatever. But no, actually, I tried to quit basketball my senior year. My coach is like, "Are you stupid? You're a starter." I was like, "I know, man, but I got to get to this money. I got to help my mom with some bills. I'm going to put some, you get the rest of your life to work. I don't care." And he like snapped on me, man. Shout out to coach, man. Coach, me and him still close to this day. He just treated my life, but it was the best decision I ever made. I didn't quit. And we had a killer season. So,
see, well, that's the thing, though. You're a young kid. You're probably, what, 17, 18?
Yeah.
Do you think you have to do all these things when in reality, and there's a lot of kids out there that are that age, or I don't know, maybe in their 20s.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like they've realized or achieved much yet. And it's like, the success doesn't happen like that. Success doesn't happen overnight.
It has no age, man.
It's the law of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Right. So what you see above the water is 10%, 90% is below. Nobody sees that. And then they call you an overnight success. It's like, you don't know, for example, what you're telling me, where you're doing tapes as a little kid.
Yeah.
Right? To then be able to get to in your 30s to then find a label.
Yes.
Or to have that success that you have now.
Yes.
And I think sometimes because what's put out there is just everything's peachy, everything's rosy, and people think that that's the way it is. It's like, yeah, it's not the way it is, man. That's not reality. That's not life.
You only see finished products online. Typically, rarely do you see the actual ingredients and the real path they took to get there. So everything seems instant. But you know why that happens mentally with people? Where instant gratification comes with technology. If you pick up that phone right now and press any button, it's going to do what you want it to do. So people think that's how life is. I'm a rapper. All right, cool. Take some pictures. I'm a rapper now. Somebody come sign me. I made one hot song. I made 4,000 hot songs I thought were hot, man.
Is that how many songs you've written?
I got way more than that, probably. You know how many stages I've been booed off of?
Yeah.
You know how many stages I've been celebrated on? You know, you got to go through the trials. You have to do the work. I think, you know, and that's what's missing online. You don't see people really do the work, the real work. You only see the finish.
Do you remember the first time you performed in front of people? Like a stage?
First performance on a stage.
Not a strip club, you know, like actual singing.
Done stripping, man.
Yeah, I was stripping.
Done with that.
I was okay, maybe make some money.
I worked at the Players Club. Shout out to Diamond. Oh man, my first show, man. That's tough. But I do remember my first big show. Was opening for Soulja Boy at the convention center. And that's when he was doing that Super Soaker song. And he's Superman. He has a Superman song. And my group, we performed so well. The girl threw roses at us.
The girl. What do you mean
the girls? They threw roses.
Oh, okay.
They threw roses, man. On flowers on stage. We had matching Jordan outfits on. Oh my God, so corny. We had matching Jordan t-shirts, matching Jordan shoes. I didn't pay for. I had a chick in mine because no. Anyways, and
how did that feel? How did that feel to be on there and to do that?
Man, was a euphoric high that I had to chase it after that. I was like, that's how I want to feel every time I perform. That is I want a repetitive success mantra right there. That's what I want. And so I started chasing that high. It was cool, man. And no lie, it was a really cool thing. Performing at the convention center was awesome. And yeah, Soulja Boy was my first major show I opened up for sure.
What would you say to someone that wants to start in music or who's already been rapping, man,
put it out. Just put it out. Your family, they're not going to support you. They're not going to come to your shows. Your best fans are going to be strangers. So get to work. Don't feel bad because your peers say you're whack or they don't like your music. Just keep making it, man. It's not up to them to determine that. They're not in the music industry. It's only a few of them that are. If you are one of those people and your parents or siblings are already in the music industry and they're already rich and famous, and that's different. But that's probably not the case for you.
Just do it.
So just do it. So all you got to do is do it.
Where would they put it out? YouTube,
Spotify, TikTok. Drop it. Even if you mess up, I think if people posted their mistakes, it shows more authenticity that people will resonate with that more.
So you wouldn't go back a year later and remove it. Be like, oh shit, that was whack.
Not leaving my stuff up. I got songs up that I know are dookie mahookie, but they remain a constant on the internet.
Like, look where I came from. Right.
I think it's cool. I got a song called "I'm Gorgeous." Is it embarrassing a little bit? It might be. As now, a dude singing "I'm Gorgeous" in auto tune, whatever. But it was fire. I don't care. I think it's still kind of good, actually.
So just do it.
Just do it.
Independent of what others tell you. There's constructive criticism, and then there's just people talking shit and hating.
Well, art is subjective. So, I mean, unless you got some format or formula that I'm supposed to follow in a particular genre, I don't really care.
There you go.
I'm going to make what I want to make. You don't like it, don't listen to it. It's that simple.
And stay independent or sign with the label?
Stay independent. Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because you got more control, more freedom. And if your purpose isn't money, then just stay independent. If you want to get a bag off of it and you're trying to, garner some revenue, then yeah, you could seek a label. But if you use your brain, the power's in your hand. You have the same tools as they have. You just need to do the research and put in the work. A lot of times people want the quick way out. And so when you don't put in the work, you don't do the research, you don't do your due diligence, then yeah, you're subject to somebody else who probably knows nothing about your pain and passion and your progress, how much you love this. They're looking at metrics and numbers.
Yeah. There's just another number then.
Yeah, they're looking at numbers.
You make me money.
Can you produce the numbers we need to pay off this debt you owe us? It's got 800% markup on this loan we gave you. This is 800% interest rate loan.
That's crazy.
We want 700 albums in 2 days. We dropped. Now you owe us $1 million. Yes,
that.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I have a friend, and they're wanting to do some collaborations with certain artists. They had a list, and part of what I said is like, why is this so complicated? I mean, these are like big name artists, right? I said, why is this so complicated? Can't like this person just call this person and be like, yo, like let's collab, let's do a song, let's get something done. They're like, nah. It don't work that way.
No, it doesn't. It's a business. You have to respect somebody's position and sacrifice they put in. Like you can't just start off rapping and then call Jay-Z, but hey man, let's do a song.
Right.
Because you didn't put in the work yet to call him up. Unless he sees something in you, the potential. Now, artists might want to work with you out of potential, but you got to put in the work, man. You can't just expect, it's like if I'm playing basketball and I can't, I'm going to play ball. I'm going to go to the NBA actually tomorrow. I'm going to pull up the Cavaliers. Hey, give me a jersey.
Yeah.
32.
The thing to me that I didn't understand was, okay, if this artist, let's say Jay-Z, wants to work with Mario Cannon and Mario Cannon wants to work with Jay-Z, and you guys like know each other, you just call each other and get it done. But what was communicated to me was no, because there's a label behind both. They're going to argue it out. They know when they're releasing certain albums for other artists.
Yeah.
And they don't want this to mess up with that. So even though two artists have already said, yes, we want to work with each other, we want to get it done, there'll be so much shit behind the scenes that doesn't let it happen.
Well, that's what happens when they're fighting over percentages as well. Like, so then you got who owns the song, who owns the masters, who's going to own the publishing, which label is going to receive the most benefits for the song. And also, you can't have it, it may interfere with the trajectory of a new record they're going to release, so there's a lot that comes into play with that. So that's a whole nother ball game right there. You want to talk about people not releasing songs and not be able to clear their verses, so you can get a feature with an artist, but the label won't clear the verse. So you can't make money off that song. So it's just a novelty at this point, right? It's like
So that's why I stay independent.
Yeah.
Stay independent. You can make your own choices.
You do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
Put it out.
Put it out.
What's a good book someone that's young could read to improve their life and their perspective?
One of the books I really like, which was cool, was recently was Think and Grow Rich. I think that was a really, really cool book. It gave you perspective on
Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, it gave you perspective on just speaking things into existence and believing in yourself, right? I just like the fact that you don't have to know it to learn it, right? You don't have to know how to do something to learn how to do it. You just got to have the confidence to fail and to keep repetitively failing until you get it right.
So here's the thing. I think as boys, we get rejection from childhood, right?
You were
constantly rejected, right? Girls, well, for most guys, right? Well,
rejection is you got if you can master rejection, you can't be stopped.
Just keep going.
Can't be stopped.
I failed. Do it again.
You gotta go look for rejection. Anybody got some rejection for Phil? So you get some rejection. You got to go get it. Go get the rejection. I love getting rejected. I love, man, doing auditions and getting rejected all the time. That's great. Thank you.
And so that's in life in general. Obviously, I think that speaks to you being as an entrepreneur as well. But you also took that and you put it into your. Is it a passion to act, or is it just you just fell into it?
I like acting. It's fun. It's part of creative. It's part of my creative outlet. So
when's the first time you did an acting gig?
Man, I did an acting gig. Well, I did some in college, man. I did a couple of, so me and LaRoyce Hawkins, he's on Chicago PD. I don't know if you've seen that show on NBC. He's the black cop on there. He's been on there for like 10 seasons now, I think. He's cool. We went to college together and we used to do plays. Like we would do like small plays together and I would do.
So you do plays in college?
Yeah, we'd do some music and stuff with it. Like, so we would perform. We do talent shows. and pageants, and I got better as time went on. And we used to split the money. We were waiting to split the money together. Like, man, you go get some Four Loko, we good to go. Mad Dog,
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, man, you get some Mad Dog 2020.
Jubilee, the orange one.
You know what, man? I was more of a I like the other color. I didn't like the orange, man.
The red flavored one or the blue flavored one?
I like blue, bro. I was a blue and
blue flavored.
And then you mix it with the Four Loko.
Oh wow!
So then you know, so that was a perfect combination for failure.
Yeah.
So sobriety.
Four Loko and Mad Dog.
Yeah, sobriety wasn't even in my vocabulary at that time.
Yeah.
I'm living life, man. I'm just did a pad.
Dorms? Your dorms, staying in dorms?
So I stayed in dorms my freshman year, but after that, man, I got me a crib. I got me one of those apartments on campus, man. Yeah, I had my freedom. So
this is while you're working at AT&T, or how were you making money at the time?
Oh man, you be asking a lot of questions on this podcast, dude.
Hey man, we can take it out. You don't have to answer them.
So no, I think at that time I did have a job. I was working at AT&T that time. I was working a little bit. I was doing what I was doing.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was working as well. But I think I was throwing parties too. Like I would make money doing some my own gigs and stuff as well. So yeah,
charging at the door, $5 be
yeah, or do like a little small concert. I'd go do a little show. You know, try to make a little bread. You know, I was young, man. I was just wild. I was a little wild dude.
Well, it sounds fun. It sounds like a life. See, like what you're saying is like sports, streets, and then college, music, acting, obviously working at AT&T, and then look at where you're at now. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you own multiple gyms.
I own one franchise. I own multiple commercial properties.
Okay.
So, and then
that happened in your 30s.
Yeah, for sure.
Was it your first deal? Was it a single family residence, or you went and bought commercial?
I went straight commercial.
Okay.
Why?
Who told you to do that? Or
nobody.
I read something, or
no, I just did it.
Okay.
Just do it. I wanted to be a property owner.
Okay.
I wanted to own large properties. I didn't want to own a home. I didn't want to be a landlord.
Okay.
Because I remember when I didn't pay my rent. I didn't want to deal with that. You're late again. You got the $40 yeah, late fee. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool on that.
So you bought commercial.
Yeah.
In your 30s.
I got two of them. Yeah. I want more.
And so you are obviously in the real estate side.
Yeah.
Are you planning on getting rid of those and getting into like apartment buildings or more commercial, like for business, residential space?
I'm going to do more commercial.
More commercial?
Just because I'm familiar with it right now and I'm comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want to be a landlord to tenants or to people who live in residential.
Right. To businesses.
Yeah, because I never paid my rent when I.
Yeah, but it's also businesses that don't pay their.
Yeah, I know. This is a struggle, but it's a little bit easier dealing with businesses because, you know,
yeah,
things to offer. Like, oh, you late? You can barter.
Yeah.
How you going? I mean, I can't barter with tenant. What about $40? You know, I'm sticking with the $40.
Stick with the $40, or hook me up with your meals.
You know, I had a lady. I had this lady named Carla. Man, she's awesome. I just ran into her the other day.
She was a realtor?
Uh-huh.
She was a realtor?
She was my landlord.
Okay.
And I didn't pay rent for like 800 months. And
that's like 60 something years, 70 years.
Yeah, for sure. So I probably exaggerated a bit on the time frame, but you get my gist.
Yeah, I hear you.
So when I got my first big check, I got a big check from entertainment. I want to say I landed a big role or something. I'm not sure when this happened, but instead of just like moving out, I actually paid her and then I moved out. I was making more money. I was making more money because of music. So my shows were doing really well. I was making some serious cash doing concerts. I had signed to artists at the time, and I was, me and him were doing shows together, and we're making money. We're doing our own shows as well, like investing in And so when I got my first big break on one of my most successful concerts, and I was like, all right, I make enough money. I don't have to live in this place no more. I'm about to move. But instead of just moving, I paid her. And she never forgot that. And like, she was like in tears. She's like, you could have just left here and I wouldn't have took you to court, but I would have been upset because I helped you. She said, but I knew you were different. I was like, I just wanted to be honorable. And I'll never forget that. And
What's your name, Carla?
Carla. I just ran into her at like a quick and easy, and she was getting some coffee. I just bought it for her because she was behind me, and she's like, nobody's ever done that for me. She's like, I'm always the one buying it. She's like, I just love you. She's like, I'm so proud of you. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go drop some more heat now. But shout out to Carla, man. She's awesome, though, straight up. But yeah.
So music and your acting is what allowed you to get into the commercial space. Is that
Absolutely. So music allowed me to buy my gym. Like I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't, indulge in the arts in the creative space, right? I wouldn't be talking to you.
so music?
Yeah.
I gotta start singing.
You got to.
Yeah, one of these days.
You have a mustache.
Yeah. Mustache will sell some tickets.
Yeah, just twisted the whole time and just
It's twisted the whole time.
yeah, you didn't even really have
Handle
to say anything just like this.
Let's go.
You got-
Come
you
on.
got
You guys come to my show. Mario Cannon's going to dance in the background.
100%.
So I want to find out where you're at now, right? So I think people get a pretty good picture as to how you grew up, what your college years look like, and then you found success with music, which is a passion that you have been working on and crafting for at least 20 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Acting for at least 10 to 15 years.
For sure.
And then you get into the commercial space, and then you get into the entrepreneur side. So right now, your next 5 years,
Yeah.
what does that look like for you?
Right now, I'm actually going through some speaker programs right now, so I'm getting more into the speaking realm. I've spoken a few stages in motivational speaking. I've been to a few schools, few universities, high schools, and I go to grade schools as well. So I'm really diving into that even more. I'm getting ready to go on a tour with my music because I have a rock band as well.
Nice.
So
Where's the tour start?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago.
Chi-Town?
Chi-Town, man. I love Chicago. They always show me great love. So I'm still doing that. And at the same time, I am still expanding my real estate portfolio as well. So I'm launching a health and fitness and lifestyle mentorship called Alpha Ascend. So I have a whole program tailored around helping men all across the world not only find mental stability, but confront weakness and build greatness is my slogan, right? So all that past trauma, we're going to use that as fuel to do right and do better. And so I got my hands in a lot of things right now. I love staying busy, but those are my main things, music, fitness, speaking, real estate.
I think
And acting still.
but all of them are paying it forward. Yes. All of them are paying it forward. So when you buy a commercial space, obviously you lease it out to businesses, right?
Lease it to businesses, and I also support local students. I let local students do projects in there and internship there. I don't charge them as long as they got good grades.
Yeah, well, that's important, right? And what would you say is a tip to anybody who's an entrepreneur right now that feels a little stuck? Because obviously right now with the motivational speaking that you're doing, whether it's, for younger kids, I think it's a little tough if they don't necessarily have a parent, father figure, mother figure, someone to potentially encourage them. Obviously there's YouTube University where people can Google things, and hopefully boys are finding us on YouTube.
Yes, they are, man. I started my journey. One of the first times I started to change my mindset, honestly, and I know we kind of touched on this earlier, about on the music side, but as a man was I started diving into the red pill and the manosphere. So I found the red pill first. And once I found red pill, I started developing my own version of red pill. And I said, well, I don't really typically identify with everything, but I think people are misinterpreting red pill and using it for their own selfish vices. But really, red pill is just becoming a better man.
Help me understand what the red pill is, or people who don't know about.
So the red pill is a whole movement of men basically going against the societal standards that they place on men, right? So rejecting everything that they say we have to be.
Okay.
And going our own way. Like the MGTOW movement. I don't know if you remember the MGTOW movement. It's called Men Going Their Own Way. That was one of the first. They were actually going monk
mode.
Yeah, not engaging in anything, no sex, no alcohol, or nothing. Just and focus on primarily on your goal. So when I started diving into that area on YouTube, it took me down this like spiral. You know how you go on TikTok and starts
all of a sudden everything, your algorithm completely changes and it starts. Yeah.
So once I dived into that, that's when I started searching for answers from within for myself. You know, and I got to meet like one of the founders of the Red Pill Roll, Tomasi. I was just on this podcast actually, Access Vegas. It's crazy, and
that's why you sent this.
Yeah, and Mike Sartain. Yeah. So Rollo Tomasi is one of my first teachers on YouTube who I followed because he had a book. It was all online and stuff. It was cool. So yeah.
I think for the younger generation, well, I mean, just anybody in general, whatever information you want, all you do is Google it.
Yep.
So I do paintings, right? And one of the things that I want to learn how to do is frame my own paintings.
Yeah.
Framing a painting could cost you $500 to $2,000, or I mean, even more than that. But for me, it's not necessarily the cost. For me, it's being able to incorporate my art into the framing.
Yeah.
Super easy. You just got to YouTube it. It tells you, how to cut the wood or how to paint, for example, or how to use a certain system to come up with songs or audio recording or lighting, whatever we're doing right now. Whatever you're looking for, there's someone who's done it before you. Most things, and so for younger kids, I think YouTube is a great help. Obviously having a role model, looking for a role model, looking for a mentor. For someone who's a little bit older, and I would say that they're an entrepreneur and they're stuck, what could be some techniques to help them get unstuck to continue to move forward in their life, their business? Are there tips and tools, reflection, taking inventory? What would you say someone who's stuck right now?
I'm invested in education. When I say invest in education, there's programs out there, and I know there's a lot of successful people out there that you can mirror and reach out to. People are very accessible now via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. These people are easy to reach, especially successful business people. They're willing to work and share their information with you, and it's all over YouTube. So if you're stuck and you think you're at a place of complacency, first of all, you need to do an inventory of who you have in your life. You need to look around. Take an inventory of who you have in your life currently, right now. One thing that I took from Bill Walsh was write down 5 negative people in your life that's in your life right now. All right, don't talk to them anymore.
Just like that.
Just like that. That easy.
Cut the fat.
Write down 5 people that are negative in your life. You cut them off. I did that. You got to take inventory of who you have in your life, and then you got to invest in education. There's so much information out there, but so many times you pick up the freaking YouTube and you're worried about what the heck Drake's doing or who's, we don't have time to entertain that. That is entertainment. That is for the masses. If you're trying to be different, you need to educate, invest in that, and take a self-inventory. Yeah.
I think those two things are powerful. Sometimes we don't know who we are, and you gotta really take a look at yourself in the mirror and find out where you are.
Yeah.
When I got sober, that was one of the things that I think it was a challenge for me to really let go of friendships,
Yeah.
right? Like friendships.
Friendships. That was hard for me, man. That's one of the hardest ones, man. Letting go of people who you love, your peer group. Letting them go, because guess what? Just because you guys grew up together don't mean you guys have the same trajectory, you have the same mindset, you have the same morals.
I mean, people change.
People change, brother.
And the thing is, I think in my sense of as far as sobriety, it's, you know, they may not have a problem with it, but I do.
But you do.
I do.
Yes.
And if they don't understand that, recognize that, support that, then in reality, what kind of friend are you?
If you had a problem with this, now watch this. When you wanted to change, did you have an issue with your peer group accepting change for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So they were your first attractors, right? They were the first ones to ridicule you, or the first ones to judge you or scrutinize you, because you weren't doing what they were doing.
Right.
Because you didn't have a similar palette of mindset, right?
Yeah. It just, it wasn't working for me anymore.
Yeah.
And the other piece is, your income is a direct reflection of the 5 people closest to you.
Okay.
You know, so you can have friends, you can have lifelong friends, you can have friends that aren't necessarily affluent, money,
Yeah.
but that are great people,
Great people.
great heart, great intentions. But then it's also being able to be surrounded by others that have maybe acquired some financial success.
Yeah.
And so I would say that that's really important for anybody who's an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to surround yourself by like-minded individuals. That's what they say. Eagles soar with eagles.
Well, look, surround yourself with people who are better than you at what you're doing. That's it.
Always.
You want to get better? Go learn from people who are better than you at what you're doing. I don't care if you like them or not. You need to learn what the heck they're doing, because obviously they're better than you.
Yeah, obviously they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they don't even have to be the smartest. I know a lot of guys that aren't the smartest guys, but they make a lot of money. They're not the smartest, but you don't have to be smart to make money. You just have to have something unique, something different, a different perspective, different way about, going about things. And there's a lot of successful entrepreneurs that didn't finish college, didn't finish high school, but they figured it out.
Watch this. Money is nothing. The U.S. dollar is backed by nothing.
Right.
When you're of this world, that's nothing. This world is corrupt. It's a dark, dark, dark world. But when you got purpose within God, and you find God within, and I always say, if you can, refer back to the Bible or some type of spiritual, something that, and not just the religion, but don't get caught up in this world, because this country was built on what? Murder.
Okay.
War. We can't put faith in man. You got to put faith in yourself and God. So when you have a better understanding and grasp of yourself and the importance of family and love and purpose, if you got a true purpose, I mean, money ain't nothing. Because you're not going to be able to keep money forever. Money comes and goes.
I just went to the King Tut, It's buried with, it's like gold and gold and gold, and I don't know, all these coffins are, surrounding him. And then the tomb is like this, another gold box.
Yeah.
Filled with everything, I guess, that he needed to take into the afterworld.
It's still there.
It's still there. You can't take anything.
It's still there.
It's like, what I've always said is, I have food in my belly, roof over my head, and people that love me.
And a mustache.
Yeah. And the most important one is a mustache. So I think we got to learn. When I was younger, when I was in my late teens, I made good money. All right. I made good money in real estate. I started doing real estate when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those friendships that I had because I had money were gone. I also lost a lot of money and a lot of things that I owned. And I realized that none of it matters. You know what matters is the relationship I have with my brother, with my mom, with my friends. I could eat cup of noodles. I can eat a sandwich. I don't need much. I don't need flashy, fancy, shiny things. They're great to have. Obviously, they're nice to have. Now, somebody could be a watch person. It's like, hey, spoil yourself on watches. Somebody could be a fancy pants person like you. Spoil yourself with pants.
Man, let me tell you something. These pants is old, man. You bringing up these old pants, okay?
I like them, though.
Oh, thanks.
I really do like them.
Thank you, man.
That's not a lie, and I'm not just, stroking it. I like them. But there's certain things that you can reward yourself with. But the chase of money, it's like you'll. Have you seen what's this show? Penguin. Have you seen Penguin?
Somebody told me I should watch Penguin. I haven't watched it yet.
8 episodes. So, not going to ruin it for you. But what I will say is that you can get everything you want, but at what cost? And it could cost you relationships. It could cost you family.
I've been there.
It can cost you so many things. But if you could sleep at night, put your head on the pillow and say, you know what, I did the right thing. Like you paid that lady back.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And you can look back at coaches and mentors and say, man, maybe at the time I wasn't, I don't know, maybe the most mature young man I could have been, but now you can go back and thank them for that. I think it's changing your perspective in life as to what's important. And once you can figure out really what's important and chasing your passions and educating yourself and always trying to pay it forward, life, God, the universe will give you dividends. It'll just keep paying you over and over.
Absolutely.
So I guess I just want to ask you about your tattoos, man, because I heard Rocky's son ask you about that Jason one. Or is it Freddie with Jason? Is it Jason?
Yeah, it's Jason.
It's Jason.
Yeah, for sure.
So right. So I know you're blasted on the chest, you're blasted on the arms. When you start getting tatted?
Early 20s.
Early 20s, you gonna get some more?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more.
You gonna get some more?
I gotta get the neck.
You get the neck.
Yeah.
What are you gonna blast on your neck?
So I have an idea what I want to do already.
What is it?
I'm gonna go get Eternal Flames.
Eternal Flames.
Yeah.
Okay. Back of the neck?
More fire.
Fire, more fire?
Yeah.
What does Jason mean to you?
I'm a killer.
Okay, I like it.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, they don't.
No.
I kill everything I do.
That's awesome. I'm killing this podcast right now.
Thank you, man.
What's on what's right here on the flames? The writing on the inside?
My brother named Tom.
Your brother named Tom?
Oh. RP, passed away.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
What else do you have in there?
I got Muggsy World on me. My other brother passed away. I got skulls. So I'm obsessed with
skulls?
Yeah, with death.
Okay.
So
why?
Because it's been such a strong part of my life. It's been surrounded by death so much. So
If we want food?
what time is it? It's kind of,
I don't even know what time it is.
yeah, just whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You're hungry.
So death, obviously, I know I think about death a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to die. I don't know who wants to die, but fuck, I really don't want to die. I want to get bit by a vampire. Preferably like a Tom Cruise looking vampire. Fucking makes me Lestat, whatever. Allows me to live forever. It's not going to happen. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know what Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
If I see him, I'm not great with remembering names. I'm terrible.
So he's an astrophysicist.
Okay.
And, they ask him, it's like, would you want to live forever? He said, no, the fact that life is finite makes it worth living.
I would have said that. I was going to tell you, like, I don't want to live forever.
Fuck, I do.
I don't.
So in your scenario, how did you cope with that? How did you cope with death? Like, I mean, it sounds like, and I don't want to pry, but you've dealt with a lot of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Music, acting, lashing out, maybe when you were younger. How did you cope with it?
First for substance abuse. Second was isolation and a little motivation here and there. And then third, I just try to remember all the love and be thankful and grateful for the people that I lost, that I had time to spend with them in my lifetime. I'm grateful that they gave me the time they gave me. And I start remembering everything that was positive that we did. And you try to reflect on times of joy, times of love, and, admiration for them. So I try not to remember the funerals. And so I don't like going to funerals because I don't want that to be the last time I see you. So, yeah.
Do you always, my mom told me, I asked her, I was going through a difficult time, and she said, you're never going to forget. It's always going to hurt. Sometimes less than others, but sometimes something will happen and a memory will trigger, pop up. I think one of the things that my mom has always taught us is it's not weak to feel sad. It's not weak to ask for help. It's not weak to vent. Even though I may not always express it, right? It's never been something that my mom's like, oh, be quiet. You're a boy. You can't cry. It's like, yeah. My mom will hear us. But I think that's something that's a pain that can never go away, like the loss of someone.
No, it gets easier with time, but you can't see pain, right? You're hurting, but you try to push it through with love, right? So the pain it's almost like a mirror to love, right? Pain and love is like they're together, right? So I try to use my pain and progressively just use it to love. And that's it. That's real.
Love will push us through.
Real talk. Not to sound corny, but it's the truth.
I mean, yeah, sometimes it sounds corny, but fuck it. You know what? It's the truth.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I may not have asked you that you'd like to share? Anything that you'd like to talk about? That's important to you.
Make sure you follow me on Instagram.
And go watch your shows.
Yeah.
In Chi-Town.
Yeah.
I want to go to one of your shows.
So I want you guys to come to my April show.
Okay.
April 18th. I'll be at the Promontory. So I'll be, me and my band Wasteland will be headlining with Sandy Red, singer from The Voice, incredible singer. This is going to be a great show. There's going to be a lot of powerful people there. But most of all, it's going to be a lot of love there. I'm going to put on a hell of a show. So
where's this at?
The Promontory in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, wow. So I guess we got to go to Chicago.
You guys got to come to Chicago, man. We're going to have a good time together.
Is it going to be freezing?
No, it's going to be in April. No, it's going to be like a springtime. It's going to be like 70s.
Yeah, so we're going. Chi-Town. Diego, your questions? You want to come over here and
you guys are going to love it, man. So for sure.
Ask.
When you're writing music, what do you write?
I typically don't write. So I typically just I write after I make the song. So my music, I've been doing music long enough now where I can construct lyrics and build a song from within. So I'll go into the studio and particularly I'll do a reference track. So I'll hum a bunch of sounds and feelings with no words. And I go back in and then do the song. And then I'll later write the lyrics.
Is there a message that you're trying to convey through your music?
Yeah, it depends on what song you're talking about, right? But the overall message that I'm pushing is what? Don't be afraid, persevere, accountability, have some vulnerability in it, right? It's okay to fuck up. You're gonna fuck up. You are, right? And live life. Be you. It doesn't matter. There's only one version of you. So stop trying to be like whatever society is trying to place on you. It's only going to be one you. That's it. So my message, it is, love. It just depends on the song, but I'm hate you in the heart every time. Bam. Sure.
So as far as your community, what drove you to want to give back?
And because people gave back to me, and I know I wouldn't be here without people helping me. I hate when people say, nobody helped me. I did this all on my own. Somebody helped you, bro. I don't care. There was somebody helped you. And so I want to give back because I know the more help we give, the less crime we're going to have. The better society can be if we got more people willing to help each other. So.
Is there something that the people that are watching the podcast, so is there something they can do to help your efforts to give back to the communities?
Wish I had a not-for-profit, man. But listen, if you guys want to help and give back to communities, reach out to your local community centers and see if you can volunteer in your communities. Make a difference in your community. If you want to be a part of what I'm doing, follow me on Instagram. This is Canon, THISINCANON, or MarioCannonCoaching.com. You can reach out there. But get involved with your local communities, your local charities, Boys and Girls Clubs, Easter Seals, Salvation Army. There's always help needed. A hand is always needed. Yes, I am that guy that gives dollars out when I see people on the side. I can't help it. And that's why I was kind of late today to Chin Chin. There was a bunch of traffic backed up when I see this dude, man, and he might have been scammed. I don't know, but I had some dollars. I ain't gonna do nothing with them, so take them.
Yeah, Alpha Ascending. When is that dropping, or how can people?
Alpha Ascend is available right now. MarioCannonCoaching.com. Sign up. Listen, if you need help in any capacity, lifestyle, mentorship, fitness, number one. If you just need an outlet in general, Alpha Ascend is for you. If you're looking to change or grow in any shape, any capacity, if you want to change and be better, if you want to make a difference, Alpha Ascend's for you. If you want to be better, Alpha Ascend's for you. You want to live better, you want to look better, Alpha Ascend's for you.
Make sure you download it because I'm going to Alpha Ascend with Mario Cannon.
Let's do it.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for inviting us in. Thank you for this morning. You said a lot of funny shit that I was laughing at, but I had to step away. And I appreciate you understanding that. I hope I didn't come off the wrong.
No,
way.
dude. I figured you had like issues with like your mustache and stuff. So I figured you're like,
you really want a mustache, huh?
I do, man. You know how long it took me to get this?
Oh, come on.
This is like years.
Just right above the lip.
It took me 30 years to get this, bro. And this is probably some dust. It's probably going to fall off if I keep touching it.
You can't grow it. No beard. That's the beard gang right there.
Beard gang.
Put some suavecito on it.
Yeah.
No, man, I really do appreciate you.
Oh, man.
And shout out to Rocky. Shout out to Rocky. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Alpha. Obviously, these calls that we've been having and the group that...
They've been funny, man.
Yeah, they're funny.
So
it's been really good, and we hope to continue to connect with you. Go to your concert in April.
Yeah.
Give us a date, and Southpaw boys, SouthPawBill. I appreciate you, my friend. Oh,
hey, shout out to Southpaw boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
We in this thing, man.
Deuces. Ta-da! We done.
That was cool, man.
I liked it.
That was fire.
I liked it.
We had some pretty funny moments.
I'll try to go and keep it quiet.
It's
It's funny. He's quick with it too.